Bon, désolé les gars, mon live ça a bugué. Les gars, s'il crash là après, bah c'est normal là, quand ma pescade elle est chaude. Je fais le live justement comme ça. Donc pendant le temps les gars, je vais laisser un ventilateur pour, comme ça je peux faire mes lives tranquille. Comme ça la pescade elle chauffe pas trop vite. Que ça redescend ça, que ça, je crash. C'est pas ma connexion. C'est ma pescade. Elle est trop chaude, c'est pas Juste le mec il est à côté de moi. C'est incroyable. Oh, je suis bien, les gars. J'ai un arme en or. Ah. La personne qui a laissé le fusil pour mon or, c'est un chico. Du coup, grâce à ça, je peux shit de ouf. La zone, ça va, elle est pas loin. En vrai, elle est là. Je mets le point. Ça, après, je pars à la zone. Ça va, elle est pas loin. Et le mec, il est loin. Hein. Le mec, il est parti. Il est là. En train d'entrer dans la ville, là. Il est dans la ville, là. Pour l'instant. Il est dans la ville, là. Mais il est là, je le vois encore là, mais il est là. Là, ils sont en train de bouger, là, depuis tout à l'heure de l'eau. Calme. En train de venir vers moi. Lui en tank, au calme. Merci frérot, bah viens après ton tank. T'inquiète, tu comprends là. Quand je rentre dans ton tank avec mes répétitifs, et je te tuerai un fusil à pompe, tu comprends là, bref. Tu coûteras la balle de la France. Mais quand tu veux mon frère, je vais te faire la misère. Ce qui me pèse plus là. Ce qui me pèse plus, Fortnite. T'es mort. Moi je suis là bien les gars, j'ai pris un bon skin tu vois. Une bonne pioche. Et un bon camouflage des, des, des armes. Regardez le camouflage comme il est. Il est magnifique sa mère. Je vais justement faire un petit peu peur là-bas. Putain. Il recule de la zone, il veut pas sortir de la zone. Il est fort. Putain, c'est lui. Bon, maintenant voilà, après la construire les gars, c'est mieux. Non, on construit. Ah ouais, il y a un truc. En fait, voir, attends, on va voir. Ah, il y a ça, les gars. On va voir ce quoi. Là. Grâce à ça, les gars, on peut gagner beaucoup de récompenses et ça fait plaisir, tu vois. C'est pour ça on va voir.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the FNCS Chapter 3 Season 2. EU's done, NA East is wrapped up, and now we're here for NA West. Let's get it started. Welcome back, everyone. I know it feels like it's been so long since I've seen you, but we have 6 amazing games from the best NA West teams that we have to offer. Guys, we have 11 new teams that are going to be joining us today, and 12 teams that are going to punch their ticket to the finals next week. Of course, I'm your host, Hello Kelly Link, and I cannot be doing this alone, so why not I bring out 2 of my favorite people in the world? It's Play Staling and Life with Panda.
What is up, Kelly? What is up? How you doing?
Guys, I am still reeling from the last game of NA West, where it was Arkram versus Epic Whale versus my team of Jack Beer and Chris in the final. But you know what? That was yesterday. Today is a new day.
It is. But you got to talk about it, right? All the games today have been hype. NA West yesterday was hype. I can't wait, Panda.
No, I can't wait. Obviously, I got to take a quick shout out for NA East. Pam's doing fast. Great job, boys. But look, NA West is here, and it's going to be exciting, right? We talked about this a little bit off screen. There are some really solid teams that didn't necessarily perform yesterday, but they've changed it up, and there's a lot of potential today. Also, we had some super solid teams yesterday qualify through, leaving up their POIs, but we're going to be talking about those matchups later. I do want to give a shout out, though. Aiden tweeted out before the tournament, hey, if I get first place in the first game, I'm going to donate or give everyone $1. Or if he didn't get first place, I'm going to give everyone $1. And sure enough, getting first place in the first game. So again, shout outs to Aiden there. Is there another team you think that could do that today?
Today? I don't know. We got a lot of good teams. Maybe we have to wait for predictions for that one.
Well, listen, you know what? Vivid did this. He predicted his team to qualify in Game 4 in Muzz and Avery, so I'm going to do the same, right? Defiable Quinn. Game 3, they're going to take it. Watch, they're going to walk away with a VR. So I'm making that early prediction now. Here.
I like it. And we'll go into the predictions later on as well. But for right now, maybe you guys are just joining us for the first time, and you want to know how the schedule is run. Well, as you can see up here, guys, those qualifiers, they are done and out. Those 3 qualifiers where 15 teams move forward. But we're here for this. It's the semifinals. This is day 2 out of 3 days. And of course, all of that leads into the finals Saturday and Sunday next week. Put that in your calendar because you're not going to want to miss it. But Panda, to even be able to make it into the finals, they're going to have to play the format correctly.
Well, you're absolutely correct, Kelly. Look, here it is. Now, if you're wondering, right, obviously there was a qualifier process to get to here. But that's all done. Now we are on session 2 here of the semifinals. Now, today is a little bit different than yesterday. It was 5 VRs got these teams over to the finals, but today is actually 6. So 6 teams will make it through that victory royale spot, and 6 teams will make it through consistency. So it's going to be super important for these teams to make sure that they are balancing these 2 things. However, you may be wondering at home, how are they consistent? How can they be consistent? Well, Clay's got you covered.
I do. Take a look right here. Victory royale is going to be worth 1,000 points. That's for those auto qualifications right through the finals. You're carrying about 22nd or second place for 28 points, all the way down to 35th for 1 point, and then of course, each elimination worth 3 points, and we saw that be a really big difference maker yesterday.
I mean, we saw Arkram and Epic Well grab 12 eliminations, 6 each, so we know that we're definitely going to be seeing some W keying, but they're no longer in the competition. But of course, we have 11 new teams joining us today,
les gars,
and you and Panda got us covered.
Jusqu'à l'événement, on va aller voir des récompenses à chaque FNCS.
But one team I got a spotlight early. I talked about them
walking away with that. My prediction, at least, they're going to walk away with the
VR in game number 3. It is Defiable.
Il y a beaucoup de personnes qui viennent ici pour voir des récompenses gratuites.
Today, and they've actually gotten a little bit of assistance from Reet. Yes, that is correct. Qualifier 1, top spot, Reet has actually decided to help out Defiable and Quinn get through the semifinals. They're prepping them from Greasy Grove. Definitely a huge change here for this team, but I believe that if any team's going to be able to kind of switch it up and be successful, it's Quinn and Defiable.
You know what? That's a good point, but I'm going a little bit different route. Another newer team here coming for me, but I'm looking right here, Keto and Russo. They are, again, newly formed in the scheme of things, but they've got great play style. Let's take a look at some of their gameplay here. Just look, above surge, always consistently fighting together, not afraid to take fights when they need to. And Panda, I mean, in the semifinals, that's really what they need to do.
It really is, right? Semifinals, this is their chance, their moment to make it to the finals. And it's not easy to get to this point.
No.
So for this team to do it is big. But look, they're not the only teams we're going to be focusing on. We got to talk about it. It's actually Kelly's prediction from yesterday. Jagveer and Chris, we saw them finish off the day with that second place game, meaning to me that, listen, the team that took them out, they're no longer in it, right? So that means it's more likely they can walk away with a VR. So Jagveer and Chris is going to be the next team we really focus on. And look at this. They are really good at understanding what they need to do in the early and mid game so that they can be successful in the end game play.
And we saw them adapt just a little bit better towards those last couple games, right? They didn't really have the best start off, and then all of a sudden, those last sort of games, they just kind of surged up to the top of the leaderboard, and it really gave Kelly some hope there. But, you know, this is a team that has the opportunity to win games. They have to make sure that they're doing it right now.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I mean, look, so many incredible teams, Clay. Who are you rooting for here on this?
Ooh. It's a good question. It's going to be Nico. It's going to be Tavern. We all know Turtle Tavern is an amazing player. That's my last pick right there on duos to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, so many incredible players, so many incredible things going on. But Kelly, I believe you got some special stuff going on over there.
Well, actually, Clay said it best that Nico and Turtle Tavern are an incredible team they're going to be competing today. And Turtle Tavern has been a pivotal part of the NA West scene for so long. So we actually had him during our media day and got a quick interview with him. So let's see what he had to say.
What's going on, Fortnite fam? We're out here with a veteran of the NA West region, Turtle Tavern. What's going on, my guy?
Nothing much, Panda. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. I'm so excited. We're obviously here for Media Day. How are you enjoying it so far?
It's fun. It's definitely a new experience, all the cameras. I'm really happy to be invited to this. It's awesome.
When did you start playing Fortnite?
I pre-ordered Save the World, and I remember I stayed up till 5 a.m. to play Save the World. And then when the Battle Royale came out, I've been playing since, honestly, the release.
You've been, again, in the scene for a while. You've been competing for a while. You're at that top tier level when it comes to the West region. How did you get there?
I started just playing a lot of, like, normal games, just going for high kill games, like back in the old squad days. I met Sened, and me and Sened became really good friends back then, and we had no, like, intent with anything. We just ended up like getting good, and we started getting into like the pro discords, and then after like a few months, that's when like the open tourneys started happening. Winter Royale, all the Lux Cups.
Of all the tournaments that are going on in Chapter 3 Season 2, which one's your favorite? Cash Cup, Lightning Round, Zero Build?
I think I'm a Cash Cup guy. I like the plain default competitive game mode. That's my favorite one.
What are you doing this season to prepare for this FNCS?
Lots of scrimmages, a lot of scrims, Cash Cups, using them as practice, especially now that they're 2-round Cash Cups. You treat those more, those second rounds, they're a lot more stacked, a lot more players, a lot more similar to FNCS, unlike previous chapters where the Cash Cups were just 1 round.
Obviously, we're playing duos this season, and in that, there's a few different roles you can play. IGL, Fragger, whatever the case may be. What role are you and why?
I'm in IGL. I've been in IGL almost ever since I started competing. Honestly, I'm not sure what got me into it. I think I just played the game a lot. Some of the most hours on the game than all my friends. I might have the most.
We know that Chapter 3 Season 2 has changed a few things. What's your favorite item this season and why?
Ooh, favorite item? Splashes.
Okay.
Splashes, it's a healing item, but like there's some like brain to it. It's not just like, oh, you have a mini, you pop by yourself. Like Splash, you kind of have to think about it. Oh, should I save him for white health? Should I wait for my teammate to go lower until I pop a splash and not waste it and be effective with it?
We have mantling, you have tactical sprinting, and then obviously last season we had the addition of sliding. Out of those 3 mechanics, which one's your favorite?
I think the mantling is really cool. I think nobody's really like explored its potential yet. It's definitely like set a new like skill gap in the game, and not many people are like. It's gonna take a long time for people to get good at it.
Appreciate you. Tell the people at home where they can find you.
You guys can find me on Twitter, which is Turtle Tavern TV. You can find me on Twitch, which is just Turtle Tavern, and YouTube. It's also Turtle Tavern.
And until next time, we'll see you on the Battle Bus.
I love hearing from these NA West players, especially one as veteran as Turtle Tavern there. And you heard him, guys, scrimmaging and playing in all the tournaments you can is a pivotal part of being a pro. Speaking of pros, let's take a focus on some of the duos that we're going to be watching. And how about we start off with Angel and Nigel?
Yeah, Angel and Nigel are a great duo. I almost picked them yesterday, but I was feeling confident in my pick. But let's take a look at their overall. They have 700 series points. They've been to round 4 a couple times. Again, we see them a lot in the Duo Cash Cup, but they're gonna land a little bit above Shifty right here. It's one of my favorite spots to land this season. It's because you got access to that mountain and so much loot, Panda.
Yeah, it's amazing, right? We got to see the addition of this POI in Chapter 3, Season 1. And actually, the original edition was obviously Chapter 1. It was my favorite POI on the map at that time. So it's really exciting to see the new additions to Shifty Shaft. And there's a lot that can be utilized there. And honestly, one thing I really want to point out, they made 2 out of the 3 round 4s. This is very significant because it shows that they know how to make it to those set lobbies, which is what the finals is. So I'm excited to see how they're going to be able to do. But Nigel, Angel, this is your moment. Semifinals are here.
They got to perform. They got to perform. But not the only duo we're taking a look at. We got Leo and Creep right here. One of your almost predictions there.
Yeah.
You're pointing out a little bit on the social medias like, hey, maybe I'll pick them, but they're going a little bit different. They only had 1 round 4 trip, but yesterday they impressed us.
They really did. So obviously, Leo and Creep, they are one of those teams that they're newly formed here in Chapter 3, Season 2, and they're actually going to be utilizing the Butter Barn. This is not necessarily the normal POI we've seen a ton of success from. However, this is probably the first time we've seen actually utilize this space really effectively. And that stat there where it says 1 round 4 trip is a bit misleading because they really have what it takes to walk away on top today.
They do, but last duo we're going to take a look at here, it's going to be, of course, Wavy Jacob and Vanillas. Now, Wavy Jacob may have a different name in game. Keep your eye on him, but a veteran nonetheless. 4 round 2 trips, or 2 round 4 trips, my apologies there. And coming out of Sleepy Sound, Panda.
Yeah, look, Sleepy Sound, I talk about this time and time again. This is an interesting POI. It is quite large. It can be split amongst 2 duos. However, we've seen a lot of duos struggle when it comes to fighting in this area because there's very, very open in the center. So you have to be careful if you do end up in an engagement, how you take that fight. Because if you don't take it really well, you could easily go down there.
They actually have 4 duos landing there this time around, so it'll be very interesting to see how these players react. But I think we got to take a look at some other drop spots, Kelly. What do you think?
Oh, that's right. When you look at the competition and the success factor, you have to look to drop spots because that's where it all begins. And the first one we're going to be looking at is Greasy Grove with Reform and Trolling and Quinn and Defiable. And the most interesting thing about this is that this is actually where Evil and Oni, or I'm sorry, Ark and Whale landed there?
No, it's actually going to be where Wheat and Rex landed in the qualifiers. But now, hey, Quinn Reshaw said, hey, I need some tips. They got him. Greasy Grove is a great POI. If you don't know how to fight it, though, it is going to be hard.
You know, it's funny. I checked in with this team here going into today because they didn't necessarily have the best day 1 in semifinals, but they assured me that this change to Greasy Grove with the addition of having that assistance from Reed is going to be what it takes for them to qualify onto the finals. And you know what? Listen, Quinn is probably one of the best players when it comes to adapting to situations. His mindset is so strong on NA West, and that's why I have confidence that they're going to be doing well today.
He is. He's very, very adaptable, very smart. But, I mean, let's just take a look at the points. He's got double the round 4 trips, double the Cash Cup finals, almost double the series points. So, hey, maybe they get it, Kelly.
We saw both of these teams compete yesterday, and although their performance wasn't exactly what they wanted, clearly they were able to learn from their mistakes yesterday. And in a new POI going up against each other, I'm interested to see, is this going to be kind of an issue where they're going to run into the same problems, or are they going to have a new story to tell?
I think they're going to have a new story to tell, Panda. I'm on board with it. You know, Quinn is a very smart player. He's very good at adapting, like we just said moments ago, but it's Greasy Grove. Right, it's been there since season or chapter 1. I'm excited to see how they do.
Yeah, and one thing I will want to add, we don't want to count out Reform's team quite yet. They do know that it's like an interesting setup, right? They know that Quinn and Defiable have changed, right? They know that they're going to be joining them at this POI. If they feel comfortable enough with Greasy Grove, they could end up edging Quinn and Defiable out, but it really depends on the Quinn and Defiable that show up for these games today.
And you guys heard me mention it before, the team that had Arkham and Epic Whales drop there, we got to look to Coney Crossroads, everyone. Now that this team has moved on, we have 2 new teams joining this POI. It's Cheaters and Lizard.
Yeah, I mean, take a look at that. Cheetahs has got some great stats coming out of it, essentially double everything there. But it's Coney. Lizard's coming in with, I believe, Squid there, and they look pretty good coming out. Again, it's one of those POIs where if you can grab a little bit of loot, get out, you're fine.
Yeah, and that's exactly it, right? We saw last season Arkham Epic Whale, and it was Victor and Blizzard who ended up fighting here in the finals, and neither team were successful because it was contested. That's what I'm concerned about, because Coney Crossroads is not a large POI. It's not something that can easily be split amongst 2 teams. So for these teams, they need to be super careful in the way that they handle this today.
I'm kind of surprised that Cheaters and B-Dog are actually moving to this POI. They only got 23rd yesterday, which isn't a bad performance whatsoever, and they're going up against a team that actually didn't make it into the game yesterday. They're one of the 11 teams that are joining us today. So with that in mind, Clay, what do you think?
Hey, sometimes you got a full send. Sometimes you look at a POI and you're like, the big dogs aren't there anymore, so let's move B-Dog over.
Yeah, you know what? I couldn't agree more. I think it's really interesting take. Obviously, we talked about yesterday switching POIs after a team wins and qualifies on, but it's not certain, right? You really don't know what's going to happen, especially for 2 teams that are joining this POI for the first time today. They really don't know how each other fights. They don't know how each other rotates. So it's definitely going to be a struggle, at least in the beginning. But if they are going to win a game today, it's going to happen in the second half for sure.
I mean, you guys are just giving me so much information now, and I'm sure there's so many people watching that are learning from this. But you know what the best way to learn about being a pro is from hearing from the pros. So let's see what they had to say.
Mantling is used for just climbing over random stuff to get unexpected shots on players.
Like if there's a wall and I don't want to place a stair, or like going for height, for example, it's super useful.
Useful to use endgame when you have like very low mats, and also being able to sneak up on your opponent.
And also in-game, if you run out of mats, you can still move around different layers really easily, and it's actually really nice to have.
You're in a stacked lobby, and you're solo, and you don't have materials, and you need to mantle up, and you can do that.
I thought the jump shotgun was going to be too powerful, but after watching the top pros like Arkham use it as an IGL, it's really good to like claim layers endgame.
Shotguns in general, I think the striker is the best one.
Best way to use the drum is like the combat SMG and just to get in.
My duo uses it and he fries people.
I think the thermal scope is cool, and I think it'd be really solid in a trios or squads format.
Tactical sprint is really useful when hitting rotates because you can just go faster all the time. It's like an infinite rotate, so I think it's like one of the best features that Epic has ever added.
Speeds up so much stuff, especially when you're looting early game, just running around building the building. You just sprint a little bit, it's super nice.
I think people can use the tactical sprint in various ways, like if you need to rotate to a certain spot quickly, you can do it.
So the combat SMG is honestly my favorite SMG. We have that and the striker SMG.
I think the best way to use both of these SMGs is just to completely W key whoever you see.
Sometimes I die to like little Timmy 1-2-3s that I just run in my face with the combat SMG.
Whenever we find a combat SMG, at least one of us carries it.
Some methods to rotate can be obviously sprinting, and then it's just mostly launch pads.
If you tactical sprint and then slide at the same time, you go super fast, and it's really good for rotations. I heard it's the same speed as the pepper, so it's really useful in all aspects of the game.
I just love these media day pieces.
Me too.
Just hearing from these pros and them breaking down the mechanics, and it gives you an opportunity to become a pro because, guys, who doesn't want to be an FNCS champ?
Oh, I do. I want that pickaxe. Listen, I know Monster Defense was talking about it, how some of these players are like not as excited about the money as they are that pickaxe. That'd be me. Hey, I take the pickaxe any day.
Listen, I'm in the same boat, right? Listen, forget the prize pool. Give me that pickaxe running game. Listen, and especially the Axe of Champions, right? This is a new season, potentially a new Axe. So,
all right, well, you guys can take the axe. I'll take the money. But guys, obviously, this is day number 2 of the semifinals. We have 11 new teams joining us today, but instead of 5 games like what we had yesterday, it's going to be 6 games, which means that 12 teams are going to be moving forward. But which teams do we think is going to be moving forward? We kind of teased a little bit about the predictions, but before we get into our own chat, I know that you love our open chat right now. I want you to post who you think is going to make it through in the NA West today. And if your favorite team doesn't make it through, well, don't worry, because we have 12 more teams moving forward tomorrow. With that all being said, we can't do our predictions alone. No, we got to bring Jacob and Takata onto the stage.
Well, there they are.
No see.
Guys, you had the best prediction yesterday, so I'm feeling like you have, you know, a lot to live up to right now.
They do. I mean, surprisingly, they're from Jacob. Let's talk about that.
I mean, he gave me a huge boost of confidence. Like I said, it wasn't predictions yesterday. I scrapped that one out the window. It was a huge redemption story. And not only getting first place through the 6 games, but getting that last victory royale, that gave me a huge boost of confidence coming in today.
I love that you picked them in Qualifier 1, Qualifier 2, Qualifier 3. You picked them for day 1, and then you made a joke that you were going to pick them again today. But we don't have to deal with that anymore. Arkham and Epic Whale are moving to the finals, everyone. But who do I think is going to be winning? Well, I'm going to go with my same pick because they literally got that 2nd place in the last game. Going on height, they held it for so long. Unfortunately, what was waiting for them at the very end was Arkham and Epic Whale. But I think Jack, Bear, and Chris have a great opportunity into making it into the finals.
They do, and I surprised Panda here, going with the same pick he did, Defiable and Quinn. I was talking to him, I was like, maybe I go Bolter Courier again, but I snuck it at the last minute. What do you think, Panda?
Listen, Quinn, Defiable, an incredible team. I've been talking about it like up until this point, right? Obviously, I'm a big Reed fan. I can't even lie. So to see them get help and assistance from Reed coming out of Greasy Grove, this is going to be their day.
So I got to ask you, though, yes, they're going to be being coached by Reed, one of the best volatile players in NA West, but yesterday they kind of had a bit of an underperformance. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think that had a lot to do with their POI. We talked about it before. Daily Bugle was heavily contested, and unfortunately, a drop like that, when it is contested, there's a lot of angles that you can end up getting tagged from, and it's really easy to third party from around that POI. So I think that was part of their struggles from yesterday, and that's why I think this switch up to Greasy Grove is going to be the day that they truly need.
Takata, you already got 1 win on the board. Who's your next pick?
Look, day 1, we got the combo, we got Arkham Epic, but we decided to split it up this time, okay? I'm going to go with Snacky and Fabs, okay? I believe that they're not going to go through by consistency, but they're going to get a VR.
I mean, they almost made it through consistency yesterday. They got 13th place overall, so that means that they were in 9th place, I believe, or 8th. So just out of contention there. But I really like your pick.
I mean, from one bold statement to another, you know, talking to Bolts, it was incredible to see how he handled yesterday's performance, saying, but we have it in the bag. 2nd place, 3rd place, we just need to play our game. And I gave him a little words of advice, you know, it's not all down to one game. We've seen players qualify in 3, and as long as they stay positive, I think they got it.
And
Yo, ça va? J'arrive. Ça va, frérot?
Ouais, Twitch, ça va?
Tranquille.
Tu faisais quoi, match hacking ou quoi?
Non. Je traînais... Truc, tu vois, truc FNCS mode créatif.
Ah, tu construisais des trucs?
Non, c'est justement pour voir un truc, une vidéo pour gagner en sac à dos FNCS.
Et il y avait un gars qui jouait avec moi, comme je t'ai rejoint, je crois, pourtant je t'avais invité. Fallait rester dans le groupe où j'étais. C'était boitant,
en fait, quand je voulais rester dans le groupe, tu vois, mais il y avait beaucoup de personnes, tu vois, je voulais pas déranger.
Non, je l'ai invité. Attends, je ressors, je fais rond pour voir s'il nous rejoint.
Ok,
Bien, j'arrive pas à faire rond.
Fais refond.
Ça tourne toujours. Ça y est, il m'a accepté en ami, parce que moi j'ai dit je vais t'inviter. Je sais pas ce qui s'est passé, je t'ai rejoint d'un coup. Il était dans mon groupe et puis du coup c'est comme si je l'ai laissé.
Bon, invite-le.
Attends, je l'invite. Il voulait refaire une dernière à un moment. Tiens, je vais inviter. C'est bizarre que je t'ai invité aussi, je me suis retrouvé dans ton groupe. C'est cher ça.
Bah oui, ça a changé les paramètres. Faut réparer tes paramètres, frérot, c'est pour ça, moi je l'ai réparé.
Faut changer les paramètres, tu dis?
Ils ont changé les paramètres Fortnite.
Ouais, il m'invite dans le groupe, il arrive pas à te rejoindre ou quoi?
Attends, je mets en public. Bon, il est en public, ma partie.
Pourquoi il rejoint pas là? Attends, je le réinvite.
Tiens, je t'ai mis chef.
Pareil, on a failli faire plein de fois top 1, 2 et top 1, non, on n'a pas réussi.
Ok, t'as fait 9 top 1, moi j'ai fait 10, frérot.
Ouais. J'aurais pu faire plus, mais à chaque fois ils m'écoutent pas, les gens qui jouent avec moi. Je leur dis arrêtez d'aller vous fight, non, ils y vont, et puis ils se font tuer après.
Bah, en fait, quand tu te fight, c'est mieux quoi. Grâce à ça, tu peux prendre le bruit de couronne.
Non, mais il y a des mecs qui attendent et puis ils nous tuent, après on a plus de shield, ou alors
ah ouais,
ils font nappe, tu vas chercher leur cas. Ce que je fais, je le rejoins et puis après je te réinvite ou quoi? Parce qu'il vient pas, je sais pas ce qu'il fait. Attends, il arrive ou pas? Rejoindre le groupe. Et regardez. Il a fait 0 building.
Ouais.
Invité dans le groupe, je refais. Il arrive pas à rejoindre ou quoi? Pourtant moi il est pas bloqué. Tu qu'on lance quoi? Un duo ou un section?
Attends, j'ai une personne, on va faire de la section, t'inquiète.
Je regarde si c'est bon ou pas. Il joue en 0 building. Ah, en trio. Il avance un trio.
Non,
ah, c'est pour ça qu'il m'a invité, parce qu'ils sont déjà 3.
Quelqu'un m'a invité. Attends, je l'ai invité. Allez, rejoins-moi.
Encore 22 déjà.
Attends. Ouais. Vas-y, mets de la section.
Je lance section.
Ouais.
Il y a User qui nous a rejoint.
Ouais, c'est un peu tellement.
Bah, je pense que l'autre ils sont déjà 3, alors on lance du coup. Il y a Haas, mais à mon avis, il joue pas. Ouais, je lance hein.
Ouais,
c'est section.
Bon.
Par contre, il est dans une partie, User, il reste 3 joueurs, c'est écrit. Je sais pas si ça va marcher. Ah, attends qu'il termine. Ah, il marque 0 pourtant. Ah bah ça il est...
Quitte la partie, s'il te plaît. Où ça? Ouais, c'est bon. C'est bon. Ok, bon.
T'as vu que c'est pas assez, on aura pas fait tout le palier. Toi t'auras le temps.
Hein?
Il dit il y en a plein qu'on n'a pas réussi à arriver au palier 200.
Bah moi, c'est grâce à Sauver le Monde. Hein. Je suis niveau 54 sur Sauver le Monde.
Et pourquoi ça joue ça avec le Sauver le Monde?
Bah ouais, ça gagne des pioches. Hein. Moi j'ai une pioche grâce à Sauver le Monde, j'ai 4 pioches grâce à Sauver le Monde. Il me reste 2 pioches à gagner encore.
Ça compter.
Il me reste une pioche bleue et noire et la dernière en rose. Tout rose. Elle est magnifique sa mère.
Ça veut dire que Sauver le Monde ça te donne des XP?
Ça donne beaucoup d'XP. Ah ouais frérot, tu peux aller faire un Battle Royale aussi, d'XP.
Non parce qu'il y en a qui vont match hacking, qui trichent quoi.
Ah non, moi je triche pas, moi je joue comme ça moi.
Non mais tu vois, tu ramasses des XP par-ci par-là.
Ah, ça tue comment.
Je vais aller où?
Vraiment, au niveau là.
Synapsis Stone? C'est
où? Non.
Ah oui, je vois, c'est où? J'en fais une dernière ou deux, puis après, tu vas devoir. Il dit faire une émote à moins de 10 mètres d'un personnage. Je sais pas, c'est quoi, c'est une danse?
Non, faut remercier le support.
Une émote.
Ouais, faut remercier le support.
Une danse alors?
Non. Tu cliques sur la flèche en bas sur ta manette.
Bah, j'ai déjà fait, mais faut faire une danse alors à côté de lui.
Ouais, faut le.
Qu'il soit à 10 mètres. Une fois qu'il est mort, bah j'ai essayé quand il est mort, ça marche pas quand il est à 4 pattes, tu vois.
Ouais, t'inquiète.
Faut pas qu'il soit mort alors. Comme ça, lui, il a largement le temps de le tuer, quoi. C'est n'importe quoi leur mission.
T'inquiète, où ça, il est fort.
Buzzer, tu veux dire?
Ouais, il a un bon niveau, vrai. Il est pas nul. Tu verras, il va faire combien de kills. Tu vas souffrir.
Ça trouve des bonnes armes, quoi.
Je sais pas pourquoi il y a mes skins banane, pourquoi il y a des skins, hein. Mais je sais pas pourquoi il y a mes skins banane, frère. On glace plus. Frère, faut lui mettre ton skin idéal, hein. Faut lui pas mettre un skin banane. C'était des skins, moi, frère. Ça va pas me troller.
C'est pas le nouveau skin, non?
C'est pas vrai. Ouais. Le skin banane. Plus là, sur le live.
T'es en live là?
Ouais.
Du coup, les gens ils nous voient, ils nous entendent? Non.
Ouais.
Ils entendent que toi?
Bah, nous tous.
Ah, je sais pas qu'ils nous entendaient.
Ah, si. C'est PS4, frérot, c'est pas PC. Hein.
Ils vont nous entendre en tant qu'acteurs alors.
Ouais.
Et ils vendent le sniper épique à la machine. 250, c'est pas donné, hein. Ouais.
Bah, ouais.
C'est rush, quoi. Tiens, Twitch, mets-toi du popo. On a aussi pour Other, tiens. Avec quelqu'un ou quoi, tu tiens?
Non, c'est pas moi,
Tiens, tourne-nous si vous voulez mettre au taquet.
Y'a un mec.
J'ai même pas de fusil d'assaut.
Voilà, bro.
Vous l'avez tué? Leonardo DiCaprio, il a une couronne pourtant.
Voilà pas. Wow. Oh mon nom.
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a?
Ça. Moi. Attends, poté d'eau. Oh, elle est là. Ok. C'est bon, les deux. Ah, les deux kills, les gars. Ouais, c'est des bots.
Ouais, Twitch, il est parti ou pas, User? Il a quitté, gars.
Mort.
Hein? Regarde, il a quitté.
Ouais,
il est plus là.
Bon, il est parti.
C'est dommage, alors.
Ouais.
Il a construit, je crois, autour de lui. Il est en train de spam, là. Il est où? Ils sont beaucoup, ils sont vers toi. Pas trop de mine, gros, ça merde. Tu les as eu? fond.
Ouais.
On a rien là du coup.
Ouais,
Je pas Léonard.
Ouais,
Il y a un kit de sang en haut, je sais pas si longtemps. Là.
Ok.
Faut qu'on ait la zone. Hein.
5 kills mon ref, oh là là, ça fait bien.
Il a pas joué quoi, ton copain, il est pas resté longtemps. Hein.
Bah non. Je sais pas pourquoi il a quitté. Bah il doit y
Et puis il a pas parlé au micro non. Tu sais qu'ils vendent la mitraillette en or ici non hein.
Bah ouais, moi, ouais du coup. C'est ça.
Non ça c'est la mitrailleuse, mais la petite mitraillette ils vendent en or le bot. Oui il tire là, ah, il y a des mecs. Il y a des mecs ici hein. Il y a des mecs les gars.
Ouais t'inquiète. C'est des bots
sur moi. Mais sur moi.
C'est toi?
Là je suis en train de les fight, j'ai pas là.
T'es tout seul hein.
Ouais mais j'en ai déjà tué 2 là, il y a encore des autres équipes qui sont oh la vache, ouais. J'en ai tué 2 l'un derrière l'autre quand ils sont venus sur moi. Il doit en avoir encore un je crois. Ils étaient 4 je crois. Et lui il doit vendre la mitraillette en or là celui-là. Ou le katana. Voilà le bot. Il est à côté de toi le bot non?
Ouais.
T'as vu ils vendent la mitraillette en or bon. Je vais l'acheter moi, je vais pas le cracher dans la soupe. Ouais. 400 boules ça fait mal de choses. Fais gaffe il a pété vous avez pété un truc en feu là. J'ai entendu.
T'inquiète. Il sera pas mort.
Il a failli perdre sa couronne Léonard. Mais il y en a qui seraient fait exprès de pas le réa pour avoir sa couronne. Ah ouais. Il y en a des mecs qui sont comme ça.
Ouais.
Tiens, faut qu'on bouge à la zone. En fait, tu joues pas avec Martine, c'est qu'il avait joué avec nous, non?
Je sais pas, non.
Quand t'es parti à la zone, non? Bah, tu connais, du coup, t'es parti. Ouais, t'es loin la zone, bon.
Oh, peut-être.
T'as une faille?
Non, j'ai une voiture.
Il a mis un pad là. Ici, il a mis un pad, viens. On monte sur le pad sinon. C'était loin quand même la zone. Hein. On va où alors? On va aller vers lui. On va vers notre DiCaprio, il est là. Faut pas qu'on ait la grésille, c'est ce qu'ils ont fait l'erreur tout à l'heure, on est morts tous. J'arrête de pas y aller, mais écoute pas.
T'inquiète, j'ai 7 kills frérot, t'inquiète.
Ouais, je sais, mais ça va vite. Hein.
T'inquiète, ouais. Top 1 frérot, top 1.
J'ai acheté la mitraillette. En or.
Alors, maintenant, on va prendre ça. J'ai un défi à faire pour ça.
Quoi?
Un défi à faire.
Toi, t'as vu, il y a des lucioles là.
Ouais, t'inquiète, je vois. C'est les ennemis qui m'intéressent, mec. Regarde. Déjà, là, il y a un mec. Non, c'est pas lui. Là. La cible, elle est là.
Le Zer. Ah, il était là, le Zer.
La cible,
Je
elle est
crois
là.
qu'il était avec nous, gros. Il vient de quitter le groupe.
Ah, bon,
il était avec nous, ça va.
Ouais, il est parti.
Il nous avait tiré. Il y en a un encore des autres, je crois. Non?
Je sais pas.
On va au coffre où il y a des trucs légendaires. Ah merde, il est plus là. Ok. Il est ailleurs. Ah, c'est pas grave, viens, on va à la zone. Dommage.
Tu sais,
il y avait le coffre là en bas. Il est trop. Il n'y a plus que 11 personnes. Hein. Moins de 3. 10. Même tant qu'on arrive, ça se fait top 1, on fera pas plus que chose. Au camp, il n'y a rien qui est. C'est vide.
Moi, changement mollet, j'ai plus de batterie.
T'as plus de batterie? Bah vas-y, mets-la à charger. Hein. Parce que la zone elle arrive. Hein.
Ouais, moi je suis en voiture. La voiture là dedans.
Il y a qu'à arrière. Hein. Je sais pas où ils ont arrivé.
Non, on passe, viens.
Tu vas où là?
Viens. C'est moi.
Tu vas où?
Viens, c'est en face.
Allez, inviter Twitch. Enfin... Il est resté là-bas l'autre. Hein. Putain, la con là. Il y a notre contrat qui est sur nous.
Ouais.
Il y a plus que 3 personnes contre nous. Ils ont encore rien. On serait resté près de quand, on aurait pu les défoncer ça. Putain, je sais pas où il réanime là, il est où la zone à réanimation, il est pas là-bas? Non?
Si. Je le vois. Y'a personne vers nous.
Tu les vois?
Y'a personne vers nous pour l'instant, t'inquiète. Ils sont vers Léo. Léo. Il y a des gens vers nous.
Oh là.
Vers Léo, il y a des gens. J'arrive.
Il a son ballon, il va se faire voir. Putain, je les vois pas les personnages. Il est pas fut, mais avec son ballon, il va se faire pécho. Et ils sont...
Non, en face. Devant.
Ça,
il y a un mec vers moi, Un mec vers moi.
J'arrive. J'ai touché 2 fois. Ok.
Oh,
j'ai pas tué, gros, tue-le. Il y a des mecs qui s'arrêtent. Mais pourquoi ils prennent pas leurs balles, gros? J'ai vite de chargeur là. Putain, ils m'ont achevé les enculés, gros. T'es tout seul là. On aurait dû rester dans les buissons et les tuer, c'est dommage. Putain, j'ai vide mon chargeur, il crève pas, gros. Regarde, c'est dans un rond là. J'ai tout ça contre une équipe là. Ah, ils sont là. Je peux rien, gros, ils sont une équipe complète. Putain, c'était eux les derniers là. Putain, dommage.
Bah ouais, il y avait 3 personnes qui restaient.
Bon, je ferai une dernière et puis on arrête. Pourquoi il marque un membre du groupe qui est dans le salon? C'est nous avant?
On va pas dessus.
Quelqu'un ou pas, non? Personne, non?
Hein? Ouais, attends, je vais l'inviter.
T'as lancé ou t'es reparti au salon?
Je suis au salon, je vais inviter l'autre. Je sais pas pourquoi.
Ok. À quelle heure je regarde que c'est
tard? Il y a un mec qui m'a invité depuis tout à l'heure, mais je sais pas pourquoi il rejoint pas.
3h30, 4h il va être con. Bah écoute, je vais arrêter. Je crois qu'il est déjà 3h, 4h là.
Non,
4h moins. Tu fais quoi, toi, tu continues encore?
Bah ouais, moi je continue.
Tu reposes pas, frère? Tiens, ça.
Ah là, frère, on va se trahir les...
Ah, je te donne le truc alors du coup à gérance. Voilà, je vais te faire... Je peux même pas te... Pourquoi je peux pas te... Je peux pas te choisir. Gérer. Voilà, Michel. Bon, et bah j'y vais. Ah, c'est Twitch? Okay. Non, c'est ton copain, j'ai nommé, je crois que c'était toi, gros. Allez, bonne nuit, Twitch.
Bonne nuit, frérot.
Bonne nuit à tout le monde, hein. Ciao.
Oh, j'arrive pas à le dire que mes mouches chef, hein. Ouais, oui. On va faire mode créatif. Ça marche? Force à vous, Nico. Oh, j'ai une pêche rare, moi, avec elle. Puis sauver le monde. Oh, j'ai la star. Oh, ça c'est bien. Oh là-bas. Justement. Beaucoup. Bon, bah les gars, je vous dis quoi? Bah demain, et bébé, c'est les